everyone, and welcome back to the Geeky Guys. I'm Guardian.
I'm Gavatron.
And today we are talking about Console Wars Mark II!
Yeah, that's right. So it's the beginning of 2017, and right out of the gate we have a new console from Sony already available. Actually came out last year. We have something new from Nintendo in less than 2 months, and we also have Microsoft's much awaited Project Scorpio. So we're going to give you a quick breakdown on all of them and what it means for you.
That's right. Alrighty, so segueing right into the first one, we're going to talk about the new Xbox Project Scorpio. I've heard a lot of promising things about this, and personally, it's the one that I'm saving up for.
Yeah, that's definitely the one that's the must-have. We're already Xbox guys, so there's no bias here.
At all.
None.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special report.
Or you just want to wing it?
Dun 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 dun!
Dun 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 dun!
Hello and welcome. We've got breaking news from the Geeky Guys news desk. I'm going to turn it over to Michael here on the hot topic of the 2017 console wars. They're really heating up. Michael, what do you got for us?
Well, as you can see here, we have Microsoft moving to invade Sony, but Sony's not having any of it. They put up an ample defense. Nintendo, on the other hand, has launched a surprise attack from the rear. They have no alliance with Microsoft or Sony. They just decided they can try to stake their claim. Back to you, Gavin.
It's really scary stuff, Mike. Thanks for your coverage.
This has been your Geeky News Update.
Console Wars!
Alright, two!
Alright, so the Scorpio project is going to have 6 teraflops of processing power, and what that means is that it's basically going to be seamless. You can do this and this and this, and there's basically like zero breakdown in time in being able to complete these different actions that you want to do. And on top of that, the price range for that is we're looking between $400 and $550, which, you know, given what they said this console is going to be able to do, is actually pretty reasonable in my opinion.
Yeah, it's going to be powerful, like a mid-range gaming computer, but it's not going to be that expensive. They were very clear they want to keep it still priced as a console, make it accessible to people. And really, I think that's right about the same spot the Xbox One launched at. Do you remember what the price was?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was right around in there. I think the Xbox One launched for $500 with the Kinect.
Yeah.
So, also, the graphics that the Xbox Scorpio is going to have will be native 4K, which is going to be awesome. Of course, though, I should mention here, if you're not using a 4K TV, then 4K, playing things in 4K isn't going to do you any good. Unless you have the equipment to, you know, if everything's 4K, then you got it.
Yeah. We're also going to have VR support. Interesting, definitely, because Microsoft's not going to do their own VR headset like Sony did. They're actually going to go ahead with an already built third-party one. Probably the Oculus.
Right. I saw something I read told me that they would do a tie-in with pre-existing technology, whether it be Oculus or another or another VR company. They're going to make, I guess, a special piece of technology that allows you to connect that VR headset to the Scorpio.
Yeah, and the
which
console
would be really
will definitely be able to push it, which is really, that's good news, because right now the VR that's able to be in consumers' hands really is either super expensive or it's just not quite the experience that you want. So hopefully the Scorpio is going to bridge the gap there, and we're going to have affordable price, but still really smooth, actual playable VR.
Yeah. Alrighty, so I guess that brings us into the current stats on the Sony, the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting, because the Scorpio has a lot of bullet points that Microsoft definitely put there to kick Sony in the pants. It automatically has more processing power. It's got native 4K.
Oh yeah.
It's got a 4K Blu-ray player.
Yeah. And let me tell you this, okay? The processing power of the Scorpio outweighs the PS4 Pro by 1.8 teraflops. That is a lot of processing power.
So pretty much, There's not much to say about the PS4 Pro.
Not really. I mean, it's $400. It's on the market now. So if you're looking to get into something immediate, I will admit it's a solid piece of hardware.
It's an option. It is a slight improvement over the not the Xbox, but rather the PlayStation 4. It has HDR. It does have support for some 4K, although a little misleading there.
It is misleading. It says that it can work with 4K. However, the only 4K it can work with is your personal videos and your own personal media.
No 4K streaming.
Yeah,
right?
no 4K streaming, no Blu-ray disc player, and you can't play 4K games on the PlayStation 4.
And you're not getting the HDR unless your TV supports it either. So even that's like one of the biggest things they pushed. And it's one, it's not that big a deal. It's really not. And second of all, nobody has that. Sony.
Yeah.
What is going on? Yeah. I feel like Sony has to do something big here. I don't know. They really screwed themselves. I mean, they've got a console on the market that is not up to the standard of the next generation that Microsoft has.
And Microsoft is just, their plan is, we're just coming out to end it. This is the war to end all wars. This is like World War II of console wars. You know, Microsoft's just trying to come out, put their staple down, and finish it.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things that they're doing to really accomplish this is the open ecosystem, the crossplay. Already, if you buy a game from Microsoft Store, you can play it on a compatible Microsoft Windows computer and the Xbox One. And Scorpio is going to continue that with full backwards compatibility with the Xbox One games and also crossplay between one game and one account. You can play it on the Scorpio, on the Xbox One, and on your Windows PC. They're really trying to take over the entire home entertainment market.
Oh yeah, I think they're doing a great job so far. Honestly, I think that once, if Microsoft achieves this, then everything's going to like taper off. We're not going to strive to push further. So I really do kind of hope that Sony comes out with something that's like, hey, just kidding you guys, here's something awesome. And then that'll put Microsoft back to the drawing board. Mainly just because I just want to see gaming get better.
I think what's going to happen is we're going to see Scorpio. It's right now Sony can't make another announcement. First of all, they'd be rushing to try to meet or come close to the same time frame as Microsoft. It would be impossible.
I feel like Sony's always taken their time.
Yeah, and they already have a new console. So I think we'll see Scorpio launch, and then very shortly after, we're going to get that aha moment. But instead of from Microsoft this time, it'll be Sony, and they'll be like, psych, we got a new one coming out.
Yeah, right.
But that does present problems for us as the consumers. We've already had a lot shorter console generation this time around. I mean, from the Xbox One to the Scorpio, which is launching this holiday season.
It would only be about 4 years. It's only a 4-year window.
That's literally, that means we spent more than $100 a year just to own the console, let alone software and the subscriptions that go along with it. I like a 5 to 7 year window with my consoles. Yeah. I want to use the thing.
Yeah, me too. I still feel like I haven't really broken in my Xbox, and I've had it since day one.
Yeah, it hasn't even red ringed yet. I mean,
which I think they fixed that.
Yeah, they did. And there's no red light on it either.
Well, yeah,
but
exactly.
Still, we could probably do it. You never know.
Throw it into a pool, do something then.
Microsoft's answer to this conundrum is that they are trying to end the traditional concept of generations with Scorpio. And so now there will be minor improvements, maybe a little bit more frequently, but they won't be a whole new generation. The next console after Scorpio will still be part of the same ecosystem. It'll play the same games, but it'll make improvements to those games and maybe run them a little better or have more features so that people don't feel like they're left out every time something new comes out. We'll see how this approach works and if that's really what happens, but I think that's the plan right now.
Yeah. And so we still have one more console. I know we've covered a lot already.
This is the big one.
But Nintendo Switch.
Yes, this is the surprise. Okay, we all heard about this kind of late last year. Didn't really know what to think up until 3 days ago. We finally got a press event on the East Coast, late at night. And much to my surprise, this console is coming out in March. It is already here.
It's coming out soon. It's very affordable.
Very affordable.
Let's see. I think it was priced at about $300.
Yeah, $300.
I know as far as processing go, they really didn't give us any hard specs because it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
But I know that they're using an NVIDIA custom build.
Some sort of custom chip, supposedly based on the Tegra architecture. So we know what it's capable of. We know we're getting 1080p output, which at this point, big deal. But it's
Right.
about time. I mean, it needed to have at least that. There's not going to be any sort of 4K. Obviously, no 4K or Blu-ray because there's no discs.
Right. This is a strictly gaming console, so you'll get your cartridge, and that's something Nintendo has kept alive over the years as well. It's the cartridge games. Let's see. I think the battery life they said would last about 3 hours on the new Zelda game, which looks pretty awesome.
It looks amazing.
Another thing for the Switch is that it's going to come with a lot of accessories, or rather, accessories you'll have to pick up after the fact.
Yeah, there's a lot of little pieces and parts you can buy. There's a Pro controller. There's a grip for the little controllers that come off the unit itself that comes with it, and then there's another one you can buy that charges it. If you want another set of the little Joy-Con controller things, gosh, those are like $70 or $80, something ridiculous. Yeah. So a lot of little kind of hidden costs and parts and pieces, but a unique concept still. I'm kind of excited to see how this goes. It'd be cool to be able to play my game at home and then have to go somewhere and grab it and just continue right where I left off instead of taking it on a different console.
Don't the controllers split apart, and then you can turn it horizontally, and then you're playing 2-player.
Yeah, you can play 2-player. You could take it out of the stand.
Take it out of the stand, pull the controls off, put up the kickstand, hand you one, I have the other one,
and away we go.
Mobile gaming.
So interesting. I'm kind of curious to see what this means for the handheld market. That's always been Nintendo's spot, and I thought that they were kind of trying to merge the two, but I haven't seen any games so far that they've announced for launch that really is like a Nintendo handheld game that the handheld team would have worked on. So it makes me wonder, what are those guys doing? I mean, the 3DS life is close to ending. Are we going to see another handheld, or?
But that raises another question. If they're ending handhelds, what's going to happen to Pokemon?
Well, okay, so we know that there's supposedly going to be a Pokemon Stars, is what most people are going with as far as the name, for the Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
But other than that, no clue. Is there, again, or is it all going to be just on the console now, and then you take this big console with you to play it on the go, or are we still going to have another handheld?
Well, I don't know, but that's definitely something to keep an eye on moving forward.
Yeah, it is. It's I think the handheld market's getting crowded for Nintendo because of everybody has a phone and everybody plays phone games, but still, for a real true gamer, a phone game is not a dedicated gaming device. There has to be something to fill that void for people who want to play video games on the go. So we'll see if the Switch is going to do that or not. I don't know. 3 to 6 hour battery life, especially considering it's probably on the shorter end of that. That's worrisome. My 3DS, I can play all day long, and that's the whole point.
Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with my 3DS too. But so I've got to admit the Switch is seeming pretty cool as far as it goes with being able to you have it set up on the console.
Yeah,
right?
The whole concept is interesting.
Then you just pull out the Switch and it's just right there, like it's a little tablet. So I think that's pretty cool, but like you, I'm a little worried about what that means for the future.
It's going to be kind of weird. The initial hand-on impressions that I've seen are pretty good. Build quality seems good. Screen on the actual tablet, it's a little bit low res, but this is Nintendo. They're never at the cutting edge of graphics. The build quality is supposedly pretty good, though. So I haven't heard any glaring issues, but this is one where, because it's so different, which is what Nintendo does a lot of times, until it gets in people's hands, we just don't know.
Yeah.
We just don't know. The first round of pre-orders are already completely sold out. There's going to be 2 million units, supposedly, for launch day. That is significantly less than probably what there is demand for, as typical of Nintendo, so you can expect this thing to be hard to get for a little while.
Yeah, but, so, big console season. I will say that.
It's going to be a big year.
My money is on Microsoft's horse.
Yeah.
I'll say that much. That's probably the one that I'm going to save up and get.
Well, it's going to be kind of interesting because if this is it for the year, it's going to have no competition during the holiday season. It's launching for holiday season, and Nintendo and Sony are just going to be selling software. That's going to give it a pretty big advantage. There's going to be a lot of households that can pick it up.
Yep. That's definitely going to boost profits for them, which will allow them to do more in the next quarter.
So, I don't know. A lot to look forward to. Definitely a changing landscape for gaming. I think whatever happens this year, it will definitely make a major impact on gaming for the next several years.
Oh yeah, and I cannot wait.
No, me neither. Very excited. In the end, you can expect full report on Scorpio from us. You'll probably hear us talk about the Switch too, but I think we can count Sony out. They lost.
Yeah, I would think so. In the console, what is Mark II? Yeah, I think Sony did not put in their best effort on this. They basically they're like, okay, we've acknowledged a couple of problems with the PS4, so let's make the PS4 Pro fix those problems, but then remove a couple other things.
Yeah.
I actually saw an article today that said, is Sony hiding developers' disappointment? So, other than that, yeah, I think Sony lost in this race.
It seems like they dropped the ball, unless there's something that we're missing right now,
Yeah.
and there could be.
Now, and I do have to say, like, I do feel like too that Nintendo and Microsoft are in like two different realms of entertainment.
Yes.
You know, Scorpio is for really those hardcore gamers, or just, you know, if you're a gamer, you want Scorpio.
And it's also kind of covering like the set-top box niche. You know,
Yes.
families are gonna have this thing even if they don't play video games. Some of them will. I see that a lot. They have a console. It's their DVD player. The Nintendo Switch isn't gonna have any of that market. It's all about kids and families who want to play games, and that is it. You're just going to play games on this thing. That has worked for Nintendo in the past, and it has also not worked so well for them. You know, it's weird with Nintendo. You just don't know. The Wii, who could have predicted the success that was? And then the Wii U, and we probably all knew that was not going to work out so well, but, you know, hey. You win some, you lose some.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. You can definitely count on us to keep the coverage up to date and give you interesting commentary that is not biased at all. Not even a little bit.
Not a little bit.
So yeah, I think that's about everything I have to say about it. What about you, Michael?
Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps us up for today. So,
until next time.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. This has been the Geeky Guys. Again, I'm Guardian.
I'm Gavatron.
We will catch you next time.